ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Average Joe's versus A Greek Economy. This game pits the two top teams in Division A East against each other. We've got the undefeated Average Joe's with 5-0-0 record against the A Greek Economy with a 6-0-0 record. So this is definitely going to be a battle of the Titans here tonight. Before we get started, we're going to take a little peek here at some of the teams. A Greek Economy took an excellent game, 2-0 against Game Freaks, number 3 in the division right now. We're going to take a look at some of the clips from that. First, we have a 3v4 here. We see an engage on Battlefield of Eternity, which, by the way, A Greek Economy is taking us to this map, so this could be in their favor. But they take, watch, they lose 2 members to 1, but they proceed to win the 3v4, and watch Cookie on the Genji.
They get another Immortal. Looking like they're going on to Ducat on Sonya, and they might get this Sonya, and it's going down, but then the
Maiev looks low.
Is
Maiev goes down.
This is an amazing turn from Game Freaks. That's exactly what they need. I think they just stay together and push this as 5. I don't think anyone goes to clear.
Oh, but Genji getting a lot of damage. Genji coming out. Oh.
Just destroys the kill
coming
thrust,
out.
destroys the Stukov.
Oh man, and they were really split the Diablo away from the team.
All right, we see some excellent play coming out there from A Greek Economy, but that's not all. A Greek Economy versus Crisis Management. Check out this amazing engage. They go into the Warden's cage and they come out unscathed thanks to a excellent bunker. I believe it's Bishop Mist on the Blaze. And watch also Cookie versus the Sonya in the bottom left corner here.
Silence coming in. No root though. Now Maiev dives in with the Warden's cage. Gonna get blown up. Mosh hits no one. Cleansing Flame gonna come out. Bunker. That was just complete. All that attempt to engage there was completely disarmed by a Greek Economy. They, it was a good Warden's cage, but they're just, everyone died. I mean, they disarmed that fight completely.
Okay, and then not to be outdone, though, Average Joe's versus UCF Death Knights had a couple of excellent plays. They managed to come here and get a blow-up, and the caster's voice in this clip may sound familiar. Stepping up to wall, they're going to push on here. There's a stun into the wall onto Sonya there. She gets caught in an Immortal stun into a Twilight Dream after getting a spread on the 3. But there's the Jaina Phoenix damage coming out. It's all worth nothing as the Immortal stuns the Junkrat Riptire, the Greymane damage, and the APOC murder the side of UCF Death Knights, and that is an excellent fight going over to them. They all got... Okay. They all got destroyed. And finally, they also had a Dragonshire map, but by the way, A Greek Economy... A Greek Economy did ban out Dragonshire against Average Joe, so perhaps they saw this game here. So we're going to check out the play here. Now, we're going to see UCF Death Knights pushing on Giants onto this bottom gate here, and watch Random Task as he realizes the engage is coming out from the rest of his team and preemptively launches the Riptire. This Dragonite, they're going to go ahead and push onto this wall and try and get a wall. Here comes the rotate. It's going to be a 5-man. Leoric is not going to be here for this. Here comes a Riptire in anticipation of this engage. The Rook goes down, gets 2 people. The Twilight Dream, the Pulse Bomb gets Tychus. Rook, meanwhile, taking a ton of damage. The Flailing Swipe, but Jackster has nowhere to run. The Flailing Swipe, not going to save him. Tychus, Johanna, and Stukov goes down. It's going to be a 3-for-0. An excellent engage there by Average Joe's, realizing that they had a 5v4 advantage on bot Shrine. Okay. And, man, I really need to work on the segue out of those things or something like that, like a whoosh sound or something. Anyways, we're going to get into it ASAP here. I need to actually set some good things here. Okay, Sky Temple, this is the choice of Average Joe's. So... Okay, I'm going to make sure both the teams are actually ready here before we get into there. A little bit of a thing. I don't have a guest host, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that there. Okay, we have one team ready. And we're going to wait for the other one here. Sorry, a little bit of a snafu here. I'm trying to get this going as quickly as possible. Okay, I think we're just waiting on one of the teams here. But I am very excited to see how these drafts go. Sky Temple, kind of a big question mark for both these teams. I think this is the choice for Average Joe's. I think possibly trying to take A Greek Economy out of their comfort zone onto a map that they have not possibly practiced. But Sky Temple going to be the pick here. Sky Temple, of course, also favors good macro. So if they can't get Dragonshire, their macro skills could work very well. Okay, we have the other teams ready, and we're going to go ahead and start this match on Sky Temple, and in we go.
You're mine now.
What? There we go. Okay, phew. I was worried that my obs was not recognizing Heroes of the Storm for a second. Okay, we are in the draft now, and we're going to see how we do here in this draft. Sky Temple, of course, like I was saying, a definitely macro-focused map. They ban out the Malfurion immediately. We could see them looking for an early Stukov first pick here, which would make sense with the Malfurion ban. They don't really care what Average Joes get. They could get any number of very powerful heroes at the moment, Garrosh, etc. But Sky Temple, of course, favors teams with strong rotations, favors teams that have very strong macro and very strong early game. And if A Greek Economy is worried that Average Joe's is good on Dragonshire, it stands to reason they're probably good on Sky Temple too. But we are going to see how A Greek Economy handles Average Joe's on this map. We're going to see Average Joe's holding their ban out, probably planning. They probably have their ban in mind. They're probably talking over the rest of their decisions at the moment. Let me get a little bit of music in there, and we're going to see what they pick up here. And they ban out the Garrosh, looking to see the spooky Garrosh. They don't want to take him themselves. They immediately pick the Genji. Very fascinating here. I think they were probably banning out the Malfurion. Maybe if they're going straight up Genji, maybe they ban out the Malf to avoid the Twilight Dream, or force them to grab a Stukov. Maybe they're happy with a Stukov into this Genji. So we're going to see how Average Joe's responds to the first pick Genji. We're going to see if they're able to punish them on this as well. There are a lot of heroes that can lock down Genji once he gets into the back line. Uther or Varian are two good examples, but you don't want to overcorrect and counter pick your opponent too hard so that you're basically abandoning your plan. And if you force somebody into, say, an Uther very early, your opponent can also punish you for that as well with a Junkrat or something like that. So we're going to see the response here from Average Joe's, and also get a sense of what their battle plan is here. I can see them going for the Maiev. Maiev very powerful here. I can see them going for Diablo now that Diablo's Garrosh is not available, but they're going to see the Hanzo and the Maiev. Hanzo very good in this map. He's got the excellent wave clear. He's got the boss clear. And Maiev just a good hero. And they're going to grab the Blaze Stukov. So they got the Stukov for themselves with the Malfurion ban, hoping that if they spent one of their picks on Stukov, they could grab possibly another strong pick. So grabbing the Genji straight off the bat, they don't seem to be worried about any particular counter to him. So they're able to spend that pick and pick up some strong heroes on the back half. Not the back half. What is this? The 2-3 pick here. In the first round, they grab themselves a Blaze Stukov. Blaze is very good in this map. He's able to double soak at times if you need him to. He can hold the point very well, and he's just a strong hero here. He can possibly grab camps if you give him some time. So definitely versatile. So we're gonna see Johanna banned out. Average Joe's banning out the Joe, and the Diablo gone, and now they have to pick an off tank here. Diablo, Garrosh, Johanna all banned out. I think that forces them possibly into the ETC. So the question is, does A Greek Economy feel that the ETC is not strong? Are they hoping to pick something that definitely destroys ETC? Or, you know, are they hoping to bait them into the ETC, or do they just not care if they grab the ETC? Really is the big question I'm trying to ask here. So we're going to see what Average Joe's comes back with here. Muradin's definitely a possibility on this map. ETC, of course, gives you that global, the pseudo global there with stage dive, so that's also a possibility. And they could have a global advantage with the ETC and a Dahaka right here. Dahaka, of course, is very strong in this map. I'm trying to think of what other... They go for the Tyrael. They go for the Tyrael and the Dahaka. Like I was saying, Dahaka very strong in here, so they're not forced into the ETC at all. They're going to grab the Tyrael. That gives them boss control. It gives them a sanctification into the Warden's Cage if you decide to bunker down and put just a bunch of damage. If you decide to like put a bunch of damage into the Warden's Cage, if Maiev goes in there, Tyrael Sanctification can help your Maiev out quite a lot. And if you trapped a bunch of people in there with the Warden's Cage there, the Sanctification just sort of amplifies that effect. So Sanct could be very good with the Warden's Cage, but you never know with the Tyrael, he could always be going a sneaky, you know, 10% of the time you get a sneaky judgment pick, especially out of somebody like a Stukov. So we're going to see the response here. They grab themselves the Muradin. And I wonder what this last pick is. The Alarak. Oh, the spooky Dark Nexus forces are here. As Alarak picked up, the CC belongs to a Greek economy as they grab themselves... I'm just doing a little skin check there. Sorry, I had to focus on typing. Muradin is a hard thing to type. But they grab themselves the Alarak, and this looks like an Alarak in the 4-man, which is exciting. Pushing the Maiev around, Hanzo is certainly susceptible to this, and they grab themselves an Uther. So they're looking to blow people up. Alarak, Genji... they've got the CC. Uther just CCs anybody. And I think that's a really good pick up actually coming from them. The only problem is going to be Dragon Blade. So it looks like they're expecting the Genji X strike, possibly. Dragon's Blade could really hurt an Uther. Uther's very difficult to stop that unless you can get a stun on the Genji, but it does give you a good counter Genji. Genji ease into the team and Uther just stuns him and Dahaka tongues him, and that's a dead Genji. Maiev can get her trait onto Genji if Uther gets a stun down. But we are going to get into this game. As definitely, as chat points out, this is an atypical Average Joe's draft. No Junkrat to be shown any place here. So Average Joe's bringing out the big comps here that they were not... they didn't need to bring out against the other teams here to really take down a Greek economy. But into the game we go.
I would prepare.
And on the left, in the blue, we've got Average Joe's 5-0. We've got Random Task on the Maiev, Tax 1K on the Tyrael, Psycho playing that Hanyo on the Uther, and John Knight playing the Dahaka. And on the right, in the red, we've got the 6-0 A Greek economy with Cookie playing the Genji, as we saw in those clips. Bishop Mist on the Alarak. Decade playing the Stukov. Olive Farmer on the Muradin. And Oscar on the Blaze. And we're going to see where these teams decide to go. Sky Temple can certainly be a way to do some sneaky lane stuff, but they're all... Ooh, they headed towards the eye. We're going to have a 5-man eye fight here. Both these teams come in as a wave and they crash onto the eye here. It looks like A Greek economy are first here. We have a little bit of skirmishing, a big 3-man stun coming out in the jet propulsion from the Blaze. There's the flip from Maiev trying to stay out of danger. Random Task tries to teleport away, but Genji damages too much and Maiev goes down. Quick first blood here for A Greek economy, and it's about making a statement. All right, the Blaze and Dahaka are going to start top. We're going to take a look at the talents themselves. Blaze going for the Neural Stim Pack going to be hope for a later team fight comp rather than a macro Blaze, and as you can see, not really needing that that attack speed here on the waves, able to push the Dahaka in and get a good start on that top wave. As far as other talents, everything seems to be pretty standard. Alaric going for sustaining power, not surprising, but not going for the rich talent, the lightning stacks there, but instead going for the sustain. Hanzo going for full W build, looks like, and Uther going for silver touch, and he's already at 48 stacks of that. He is 48 out of 80 away. Acre Economy gonna grab that top camp very quickly, and Average Joe's gonna grab the bottom camp here. So a difference in strategy here. Cookie taking a ton of damage. There's the Uther stun onto that Genji we were talking about. But Cookie turns around and the Stukov Silence, there's nothing they can do sitting in that silence, and Psycho goes down with an excellent reason there from Cookie. Random task trying to find the Genji kill. Can they find it? Cookie trying to get away with 180 health, not happening. Tax 1k almost goes down. And another quick kill going to A Greek Economy. Tax is in trouble. The resets are there from the Genji. There's Random Task getting a pull onto the Genji. Genji stays within range. Random Task just barely escapes with the life. Meanwhile, Dahaka up here clearing all by himself. Blaze is able to double soak, and that's a full level lead going over to A Greek Economy. Dahaka going for the tissue regen, definitely a more popular talent these days, but I'm going to take a look at XP total here. Heroes, 1,000 damage, but look at the minions as well. So between structures, minions, and hero damage, they are up a full level, and this task is going to be taken up here by A Greek Economy, no problem. That Night Camp did a number on the lane here for Dahaka, allowing Blaze to double soak. So we're going to see them having to clear up this giant camp before they can even get on the temples. That's going to allow A Greek Economy possibly to make a double temple play up top here. So we're going to see A Greek Economy just clearing this lane, trying to get some vision, trying to make sure that this lane belongs to them. The rotate finally does come in. It's not going to allow them to double temple play, like I said, but they do have 4 on this temple, and Blaze now making his way down. They're going to defend this temple as 5. Dahaka coming down, clearing this lane out. This is going to be a 5v fight here on this lane. Both teams in the same talent. The Jet Pulse got missed. There's a big stun on the Tyrael, though. The silence goes down. Tyrael can't even Q out. Meanwhile, Maiev tries to go in for the kill. Random Task finds himself turned on, and the rest of A Greek Economy ruins his day. The Jet Propulsion misses on the Tyrael, but Blaze will pop his talent. His trait rather, and a huge silence going in on the Tyrael. Tyrael is going to find a little bit of trait value. Dahaka has to burrow to get himself some health. John Knight makes his way out with that. Is 2 for nothing on this temple phase, and that's easily going to get A Greek Economy 7. As Blaze starts going down to soak, Hanzo stays here mid to do the same thing as Cookie now starts up top here, and I believe both these temples, a very strong likelihood going over to A Greek Economy. Uther is going to 1v1 this Genji, push him off the point. Very brave play here coming from Hanyo. Uther possibly wins that trade, actually. I've never even thought about Hanyo. Gets GFE'd off that point. Decade steps in now. Finally, we got 2-on-2. Hanyo getting real low. Gets in the Stukov Silence. There's no going anywhere. Decade with the slow silence combo allows allows the rest of the team to get the kill onto Uther. And they're going to grab this temple up here, no problem. The rest of Average just has to come down and soak, and it's looking like a rough start for Average Joe's. All right, Blaze is coming down here bottom. Looks like they, no, they're going to find a rotate onto this camp, and they're going to try and get this camp and see if they can get the push going here. Bottom, as the temple's finished, if they can get some structure damage, it's going to be very good for them. You always want to be able to try and get like a well or something bottom before that bottom temple starts. So they're going to have that camp pushing by itself, and they're going to 4-man on here. It's a 3v4. They do see the Alaric top, I think. I'm not sure, actually, if they know where he is. So they're going to have a random skirmish here, get some clear in mid. Now they're moving bottom to push in with this camp Maev having to clear mid. There is Cookie coming around, trying to get some damage. Blaze gets some poke onto Tax. Oscar getting poked on himself, pops his trait though, and there's a Stukov Silence going into the Hanzo and the Tiro. Tiro finally gets out to a place where he can E, but Hanzo's dead. Meanwhile, though, Oscar might have a counter kill onto the Blaze. Blaze going through. Maev's going to find this kill in the backline. Is able to back up, pulls Olive Farmer back. Murder could be going down here, and here's Average Joe's striking back. It's a 2-for-0, but Cookie with the Genji finds the counter kill onto the Tiro, and that's an even trade. Slightly better for Average Joe's, but the 10s are now here for A Greek Economy. The Unstoppable comes out. Here's the pull onto Alaric. Bishop misses, going to get pulled in, but he's going to get the kill onto the Haka. The counter-strike picture perfect there onto the Dahaka, and Alaric is a menace as Genji shows up to clean house as Uther goes down, and that's 2 more kills going to A Greek Economy that are just running away with this game at this moment. They don't even care about the temple at the moment. They're going to kill this boss. Boss being taken here. Average Joe's goes up top and clears the top camp. They're going to try and get some push top here. Very smart play here from A Greek Economy. They can basically do anything they want. 2 people dead. This boss getting killed. Average Joe's, if they knew boss was being done, they might have been able to start on it, but it would have been a very risky play. Tiro does not have the boss steal Holy Ground just yet, does not have Sanctification just yet, not even 10, so no boss, very little boss pressure for them here at this level. So, the Decade just has been on point this whole game. Almost every single Stukov Silence has netted a kill. Very valuable coming out from him. They're going to have the boss help punch that core to death. Going to get a few hit points. Ultimately, I think this boss probably just killed the front wall, but they're going to have a siege pushing on. And finally, this temple, they're going to back off here. 5 members come down onto this temple, and A Greek Economy, smart thinking, even though they're ahead by 2 levels, realize the same talent tier has been reached, realize they don't have Blaze, realize the Haka could join them at any time, and they immediately evacuate the temple as Average Joe's push on here. But Average Joe's could get some structure damage. Now they're looking for a fight, but Blaze is finally down here. They could look for something on. Oh, but there's a huge silence going on the Tyrael Alarak there with the punish. The Sanctification has to be used, but it doesn't matter. Tyrael goes down. There's the damage coming out from Maev in the Warden's cage. Who's trapped in there with whom? Maev throws down the Warden's cage, but it's A Greek Economy getting all the damage done. Bunker into that Warden's cage. No match. They're going to kill this fort before even getting any tower shots. They're going to get the most out of these tower shots here. As they take that structure down, they're going to grab this camp. A Greek Economy is not letting up. Huge wave up top here. Dahaka is going to go up there and soak it, and they're going to try and get themselves to 13, as they're going to have to clear up bottom. It's this middle keep probably going to go over from the temple shots are going to easily take care of it. As they finish up the temple process now, but it's 13-11 with A Greek Economy. And taking a look at the heroics here, we've got Warden's Cage, we've got Isolation, excuse me, we've got Sanctification, we've got Dragon's Arrow and Divine Shield, pretty standard across the board. Dahaka can usually choose. We've got X-Strike on the Genji, not afraid to go the X-Strike into that Uther. We've got the Avatar, the Counter-Strike, as we saw earlier, Flying Swipe, and of course Bunker. So no real surprises. Really, Genji the only variable member as he picks X-Strike. Genji checking the bush over here. They might be trying to do something here. Daha Knight is in trouble. Sees the Genji, gets a tongue, misses, and Giant's going to have to back up. I don't think they have the CC to finish this kill up. Yeah, no, Stukov is going to root him into there. But oh, they get the pull. They get the X-Strike. A Greek Economy, surgical precision on that Dahaka. John Knight thought he was safe when he made it into that gate without getting killed, but the root, they have just enough displacement on the side of A Greek Economy to take him down, and they're going to take their prize with this camp pushing front keep wall belonging to A Greek Economy. Pushing on down here, and this map really it belongs to A Greek Economy, but it's not in such a pushed up position. A Greek Economy can still get a decent amount of farm off of the wave mid and bottom. Oh, they're going to bush party here. It's a bush economy here as Oscar trying to find a way to fit in there. Nobody is going near that bush, unfortunately for them. We're going to see if John Knight is... oh. We're going to see a little... okay, this camp now coming up. The whole team of A Creek Economy is here. And they jump into action here as Cookie goes in on everybody. They're trying to get out as fast as possible. Hanyo is the one caught out, going down, tries the best he can. Does not burn D-Shield for that. Realizes he was dead. Try to get out. I like that play. He'll be back in 27 seconds, but D-Shield will not, and they're just going to give up that camp. Random task going in there, trying to get some kind of... poke onto A Creek Economy, but nothing doing as A Creek Economy immediately moves on to this temple. And boy, oh boy, Average Joe's, no matter which way they turn, just not able to get a foothold in on this game. Tyrell's going to do bottom temple. Genji's going to start this camp. Hanzo up here, clearing the top camp. But everything's quiet except for Blaze, caught way out. Oscar here, 1v2, but it's a Dahaka and a Tyrael, and he still has Bunker. The rest of the team rotate. Actually, I think he took all that damage to try and bait his team. Attacks 1K is going to be the one going down. The Dragon Arrow, though, stops A Creek Economy. Can they get a counter kill? Genji taking a ton of damage, but immediately going to be healed up by, I think the Stukov? Yeah. The Stukov immediately going to heal it up. Hanzo going down. Oscar taking a ton of damage as Blaze is wont to do. Uther gets his D-Shield off at 5 hit points, but it doesn't matter. It expires, and that's a 4 for nothing. What started off as a Blaze pick turns into a 4 for nothing trade in favor of A Greek Economy. Blaze manages to lay just long enough for the to get Cookie trying to get a kill on a random task there. Maiev is going to be just fine as Cookie is out of mana and has to join the rest of the team on this boss. This could be a killer push. I think this is going to be a keep, if not more, especially since they have the full temple here. The full temple can get damage onto the keep bottom where the boss is indeed going to be pushing. We're going to see if they wait. I assume they're going to wait till after the boss. They've got 16. They're not really worried about losing any members on this push. Everybody, though, is back on the side of Average Joe's. But A Creek Economy looking very scary with a siege camp and a boss pushing onto this keep wall. They're going to get keep wall. Maybe they get keep. The temple could... will secure, if they're able to get the full temple, it will secure them a keep, but we're going to see what they can do off this boss and what Average Joe's can do about it to repel it. Stepping up onto this keep, this boss just getting free hit after hit. They're ready to just give this keep up. Average Joe's playing very smart here, being very patiently, realizing that if they step up on the core, they can go ahead and fight then. However, they're going to get this boss up here, and they're going to try and get as much damage on this core as possible. They still got the boss. They still got the siege lines. This shield is going down. This shield is in trouble. Average Joe's going to make something happen. Here's the sanctification, and the dragons go into the Warden's cage. The bunker goes down. The counter strike from Alarak deletes Average Joe's off of the map. Everybody gets into the bunker except for Alarak, who simply says, hits R and says, throw everything you got at me, and wipes out Average Joe's. An amazing game there coming out from A Greek Economy. That's showing them who's boss. And now, though, Average Joe's, we're going to see if they can come back on the map choice of A Greek Economy, which is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. We saw an excellent Battlefield game coming out from A Greek Economy in those clips, so we're going to see if Average Joe's can make something happen here. Okay, we're going to get everybody invited. We're going to see, though, if Average Joe's can hold A Greek Economy to simply a tie, or if A Greek Economy is going to run away with another domination and go up 7-0-0 in Division A West. We're getting everybody into the game here. And that was a rough game for Average Joe's. They were behind from the start. They just could not find a foothold. They couldn't find a foothold in team fights. They couldn't find a foothold on macro. It was just sad days ahead for them. And what you got to do is you got to shake off that loss, and you got to come into this next game and say, this is our game. We've got a game plan. We can play BOE. We're going to do it. And both teams are in the lobby right now, and we're going to see if we can get into this game. We got one team ready. Gladiators ready. And we're just waiting to give the team some time to catch their breath, make a new game plan here. And if I'm Average Joe's, I saw it in chat, man. Stukov ban definitely worth considering. Or if they want to go in hang on. All right, never mind. Okay, we have both teams ready. Oops. And we're going to get into Battlefield of Eternity. Whoops. I went to the goodbye screen. On accident there. I'm not sure what happened to cause that. I'm not sure how long it was up, but hopefully nobody left the channel because... but we're going to get into this draft. A little bit of technical difficulties. So I was trying to type in the chat itself, but I ended up typing in OBS, which meant I switched scenes. But they're going to have an immediate Genji ban. So it looks like Genji was the problem for Average Joe's and not the Stukov here. But we're going to... They decide that Genji was the problem. Cookie, an absolute monster on that Genji, but their average, excuse me, Agri Economy sticking with the Malfurion ban, and Average Joe's grabbing that Garrosh, maybe going back to something they're a little more familiar with. Maybe the Tyrael was a rough time for them as well, so they'll maybe looking to get a more Cintiq. And Average Joe's versus Johanna herself, and the Stukov immediately picked up. That Stukov paid crazy good dividends on Agri Economy. Decade on that hero, just a monster. We're gonna see Garrosh. What they do with Garrosh here? Oh, Johanna immediately picked up. It looks like Johanna's increasing in popularity in Division A. Even being picked over the Diablo. Junkrat Hanzo now coming out, and now this starts to look like a typical Average Joe's draft, as we see the Rat of Junk himself, along with the Dragon Guy, which is his real name, I think. But the ban now coming out from Agri Economy. I don't know what they're going to pair with this. They've got themselves the Stukov. They've banned the Malfurion. Both teams have a tank. Really, it's just a question of what you run with this, and they're going to ban out the Sonya. They want to do well in the top lane. They don't want to have her in the skirmishes. They don't want to have her clearing camps, etc., etc., etc. So... the next ban coming out from Average Joe's. Average Joe's, I do wonder what they want to ban out. They ban out the Maiev. Yeah, she'd be very powerful here, especially with the Johanna pull. Johanna pull plus Maiev equals a bad time for everyone involved. And they're sticking with the Alarak. Really flexing that Alarak onto Average Joe's. And man, it really did a good time. That Counter-Strike at the end of the game was disgusting. But Blaze now being picked up for them as well. Blaze worked really well, and I can see why they wanted to ban out the Sonya. Sonya into Blaze. Sonya definitely beats Blaze there, and she can really push that lane in too if the Blaze has a tough time. So a strong ban there coming out from them. They are going to see. We're going to see what they finish this out with. They do need themselves another front line. I don't know if they go for another. If they necessarily need a solo laner against Blaze here, if they want to have somebody that can beat him. Leo might not be such a bad idea. Although an Entomb, if you get an Alarak in the Entomb, the Counter-Strike is going to be rough. So going down to the last 10 seconds, Average Joe's really making sure that they've got their draft in order. here on Battlefield of Eternity. Of course, they do have the race, what with the Hanzo. Nobody... Yeah, they do, in fact, go for the Leoric. We're going to see if they do go for the Entomb versus the Riptire Dragon's Arrow. Oh, what? What? Okay. Somebody is probably a Vala main, because why are we seeing her in this meta? A Greek economy. I want to see them make a case for a Vala in this meta. And immediately Average just has to be thinking that Vala, she is now the weak spot on their composition. Vala, there's no save for Vala if she gets caught in that Entomb and they get their damage off. Very interesting, but we are going to get into the game and looking at this race easily going over to the side of Average Joe's. Hanzo can out DPS, I believe, Alarak and Vala by himself, but they also have Junkrat for the poke. So I think they're going to win the race, but Alarak can murder people. He can push people around into stuns. Bishop Mist gonna have a fun time on that hero, but in we go. And on the side of heaven, we've got Average Joe's with Random Task playing that Junkrat. Tax 1K on the Garrosh, Psycho on the Hanzo, Hanyo on the Alexstrasza, and in the Soul Lane, good old Soul Lane and John Knight 1 on the Leoric. And on the side of hell, we've got Hey Greek Economy with Olive Farmer playing the Johanna, Bishop Mist on the Alarak, Cookie playing that Vala, Decade just getting started, Decade on that Stukov once again, and Oscar once again on the Blaze. Leo and Blaze immediately going to start up top. Another benefit to the Leo pick is that Leo definitely outperforms Blaze in that lane, and I believe Blaze will win that lane. Not win that lane. Blaze will lose that lane to Leo if push comes to shove, but I think Blaze is just going to play that slow and just, you know, be the soak guy. You know, Leo's not coming out, so Oscar's using that time to get some damage onto the minions here. John and I maybe a little scared of wondering where the rest of the team is, but everybody shows at the bottom. Pax 1K gets Warbreaker stack there. We're going to look at some of the talents here. Vala going for the hot pursuit, and I've heard this talk about Vala. You know what? I saw it, I think it was Korea, Vala into a Garrosh, and Vala with the hot pursuit stacks doesn't really, I believe Cavalier Guest pointed this out, Vala doesn't really care about the Garrosh stun. She can simply dodge it if she is at full hot pursuit stacks. Hanzo going for Redemption, the highest DPS build on this map. Alexstrasza going for the Q build, perhaps. Live and Let Live being picked up here, and Leoric going for the Teamfight Consume Vitality build. Blaze Meemaw also going for the teamfight build in Moral. And here we see Leo winning that lane a little bit, but Blaze out-soaking him for sure. So Oscar playing that lane really well, but is going to tap right away. They're going to start this camp down here. Acre Economy steps all 4 members on here. Average Joe's is following it up. There's the throw onto Olive Farmer. Immediately blows out the Iron Skin, and the silence once again. Money silences from Stukov. Decade there. As Garrosh goes down, immediately separates Garrosh from the rest of the team, forces him to decide, and he can't decide quick enough, which allows the rest of the team of A Greek Economy to kill him. Decade, just a beast on that support. Now John Knight up here. Oscar doing really well in this soul lane against John Knight. Not probably not allowing him to hit that spooky hand. So that, I said Leo wins that, but if Blaze can dodge the spooky hand, which is hard to do if you're trying to clear minions, then you win that lane. And it looks like he's just poking there. He did have the tap. I believe John Knight does have tap available. Oscar does not. Oh, but they're going to come in here on this camp immediately. Aggressive rotation here from A Greek Economy, getting very aggressive in this game. Junkrat goes down. The silence just barely gets enough damage, but the camp actually aggroed by A Greek Economy, or perhaps a Hanzo arrow. I'm not sure what aggroed them there. However, it goes on to Junkrat and gets the finishing blow. Meanwhile, Oscar does have the benefit of a camp here. Yeah, John Knight misses the spooky hand onto the Blaze. The spooky hand, of course, being the Oryx Ghastly Reach. What is it called? Anyways, we got a fight down here. Forget about that naming nonsense. Garrosh taking a ton of poke, but gonna step up here. They're gonna push him off, try and push him off of this camp at least. A Dragon Queen pop to try and push him off of the point here. Dragon Queen used there to try and just win that fight. onto the Shaman camp. It looks like they're going to try and start racing here. They do have the camp advantage with the camp top being cleared. Meanwhile, Blaze up here caught out by the Leoric on there. Tries to get a stun on Leoric, is all alone. There's the burst damage, and down John Knight goes. Tax 1K, taking a ton of damage as the rest of A Greek Economy turns their attentions on me. He's trying to get out here. The Alexstrasza heal is there. The Alexstrasza slow, trying to peel for Tax. Tax getting another heal. Not a heal, the W, he's not allowed to stay there long enough to get it, but he goes down to only 50 health. That Garrosh armor helping him out as he gets away alive. Leoric, is he already back? Leoric is already back, so not a big deal there for Average Joe's, but A Greek Economy getting onto this Immortal. Hanzo has not even gotten a chance to get on their Immortal yet, but Garrosh right in the front, into a silence, has to walk up out of it, and Alarak will not let him. The Alarak silence combo is something I had not considered. You throw the silence out into a place they don't want to be. Alarak says, no, you're going to stay here for another second or two. But A Greek Economy getting onto that Immortal. Hanzo just now getting onto their Immortal. As you can see, they burn a significant amount of that Immortal down in the few seconds they have to clear it out. But the Immortal will go over to A Greek Economy, who is up 4 kills to 0, and Average Joe's has got to make something happen here. Maybe not here, but soon, before they reach 7 and start, snowballing on this game. Alarak already up to 112 status, and he is going to be brutal as this game progresses if they cannot kill him. You're going to see the Immortal, the Junkrat Bomb tries to stop the siege, but it only pushes them away and not over the wall like they wanted. They're trying to get as much poke onto this Immortal as possible. Junkrat very good for that, and Hanzo as well. So they're able to get a good amount of poke on here. It's not even up to the fort yet. That was a big shielded Immortal. Alexstrasza going to take a stun, not going to follow up on that. Alfarmer now steps up to make sure this fort is theirs, and this fort's going to go down as they just do not have enough poke to kill 4 members and the Immortal here, as A Greek Economy has 7. Looks like they are now rotating. They're going to try and play with vision. They're going to maybe try and take this fort. John Knight alone. John Knight's looking real low. Oscar winning that trade up here. John Knight now going to be in trouble. Not going to be able to defend. Olive Farmer steps in behind there, forces John Knight to back. Olive Farmer thinks twice about stepping behind their base, and they're going to grab the camp instead of trying to siege onto this wall. They don't have minions here to absorb those cannon shots just yet. And Olive Farmer taking a good amount of poke there. Olive Farmer doing a really good job of absorbing damage for his team at the right time, allowing the Malfurion sustain to heal him right back up to full. Olive Farmer is going to step up. This counter camp's going to get on here, but unfortunately they don't have minions. Average Joe's doing a good job of clearing out the minion waves so that it's not threatened. They probably will get front wall here. Leoric has to do it by himself, and they're just 5-man pushing top. Leoric's having a good time by himself. He might be able to get something done down here, but Blaze immediately starts rotating Oscar. He's going to give him a bad time. He's going to get at least 1 tower thanks to his minions, and that's going to be a front wall for a front wall. It looks like not going to lose the well. Very important there, but the big rotate comes onto Leoric. John Knight's going to be okay. Realizes that the rotation is coming. And Average Joe's now making an aggressive rotation bottom, trying to fight them before they get 10 here. A full half level ready to go. Average Joe's wants a fight, and they may try to get one here without the Johanna around. Nothing doing, though. Blaze on that camp. Can they stop him getting away? Tax coming in the back. Does get stunned out by the Garrosh, but the flip onto Blaze. Oscar in the silence. They're not able to fight into that silence, and another great silence coming out from Decade saves Oscar's life. They do get the camp bottom. Johanna is now back, and it is a full 5v5. 10's almost here for A Greek Economy. Average Joe's only gets the camp out of it as the Immortals spawn. The Immortals spawn in favor, I believe, of Average Joe's. They do have to clear the camp. A Greek Economy has to clear that camp. John Knight pushing up there on Leoric. Hanzo trying to get as much damage on here as possible, but they immediately evacuate. Junkrat throws out a mine to try and get them. They try and get the displacement. Cookie throws a stun onto all 4 members of Average Joe's, and that's going to allow Alarak to follow up. Junkrat goes down, followed by Leoric. What a massacre there coming out from A Greek Economy. They tried to get the simple flip onto Vala. Vala, of course, being the weak spot, like we said, and they said I said that Vala was going to be the target of Average Joe's. The A Greek Economy says, You can focus Vala, but there will be one brief second where you will all be stunned thanks to Rain of Vengeance. Alarak takes advantage of that. They're able to rotate towards the flip immediately, and they make Average Joe's pay for that gank attempt. All right, the Immortals now being halftime. A Greek Economy has to go bottom. Average Joe stepping up. They are opting to just defend here. Try and get as much poke out as possible. 10 is a long way off. They're trying to find something. They throw Olive Farmer away, and they back off, just trying to slow down this Immortal push from A Greek Economy. Poke onto Blaze. Blaze don't care. Oscar does get stunned, and there's no follow-up possible. Hanzo Scatter are doing a lot of damage, but this Immortal easily going over to A Greek Economy as they're going to be pushing with a almost full shield Immortal. 10's a long, long way away. Leoric has been doing the best he can to soak the XP. We're going to take a look at the XP counts here. Oh, immediately step in front of this fort, forcing Average Joe's to completely concede it. Very strong play there by A Greek Economy, but also very good heads-up movement from Average Joe's, realizing that they're in danger, and Leoric has to go bottom to give them 10. And looking at the XP split here, Mercenaries, extra 1,000. Heroes, an extra 3,000. And Structures, an extra 3,000. Gives them the 2-level lead that A Greek Economy now enjoys. Looking at 10s, pretty much standard across the board. We see the massive shove coming in from Stukov. Shove and Filling Sight both equally taken. Finally, the 10s being picked up here. Lyric holding his ult. Does go for the Entomb. They're going to see the Entomb Dragon Arrow Riptide. There's the Entomb going down, trying to separate Blaze. There's the huge jet propulsion into the Riptide. Average Joe's fighting back here. Here comes Cleansing Flame to try and finish things off. Doesn't find Cookie in the backline. They are going to throw Oscar. No kills yet for Average Joe's, but they repel this attack. But meanwhile, the Immortal's getting a ton of damage, and finally, Average Joe's being taken down by A Greek Economy as they turn that fight around. Junkrat and Garage stuck in the front. They get stunned out. They get blown up, and this is going to be a free keep for A Greek Economy. Average Joe's almost had something, and if they're able to make that work in the next team fight, don't count them out of this game yet. The Immortal blabbering on about whatever he talks about in this thing. Olive Farmer stepping way up on here. This could be the whole team of Average Joe's. This could be bad for A Greek Economy. John Knight checking that push out, and Greek Economy backs up. They realize they don't have their whole members here yet. They're going to poke at this camp. This Average Joe's trying to hold on to this camp. A Greek Economy does concede it. They all back up, but Average Joe's doesn't know it yet. Hanzo finally sees that nobody's there, and they both start their camps at the same time. Stukov and Johanna, meanwhile, get free camp bottom. Average Joe's so handcuffed by their level deficit. They're not able to stop this camp bottom from being taken, and A Greek Economy is going to take 3 camps out of the 4 on this map. Average Joe's going to rotate down to try and clear this camp, try and get some kind of push going. If they realize that Average A Greek Economy is on the other side of the map, you could see them push here onto this fort, but instead Average Joe's now. They are now finally pushing up. A Greek Economy, though, did not go top. They're immediately rotating here. This is bad news for Average Joe's. Are they stuck here? Honda, oh, they realized that this is possible. They are now backing Psycho backs. Everyone backs except for Garrosh. Oh, the Science goes down to the random task who didn't start backing soon enough. Trying to peel for himself, gets a throw from Tax. The random test. The Entomb comes out, stops the jet propulsion. John Knight just saved. I spoke too soon. He almost saved random task, but Alarak has other things to say. The Dark Nexus forces are alive. The huge root from Stukov. Garrosh gets away. He does get away with just 30 health. A tap might have saved him at that point. The Stukov route almost succeeded in getting that pick off. Junkrat, though, killed, but he's going to be back immediately. However, A Greek Economy can start in on this Immortal right away. John Knight stepping way up. They see Blaze bottom. They do have a 4v4. It's only the 13 talented. They may start getting aggressive, trying to make something happen in this game. John Knight looking for some kind of flank here. Valor realizes that he's in the bush there, throws it down. Here's the Alex, but there's a jet propulsion into the York on the spooky hand, though. Hanzo, and meanwhile getting blown up. Everybody from Average Joe's getting absolutely wrecked, as Vala and Alarak proved to be absolute murder on the health bars of Average Joe's. They try to make something happen on the flank, but meanwhile their backliners are in range. As Garrosh goes down, Hanzo goes down. Random Task is throwing out a bomb. He's just trying to get some poke, but this is a full Shield Immortal now pushing on the keep. 13 to 15. Good news for Average Joe's is that they are on the same talent tier, and they could easily defend this Immortal push if they manage to get some picks. That's a big if, though. They have most of their ults. Cleansing Flame not available. Dragon Queen is available, on the other hand, and they are going to fight, try and fight behind them here. The Immortal setting way up. Tax getting an Immortal stunned, and Tax, it gets a blow up, but the healing from Alex Straza is plenty. Olive Farmer taking a lot of damage, gets into the bunker, saving the jet propulsion onto two people, finally kills Garrosh. Hanyo going down. The Dragon Queen heals are not enough, and that's two going down to the side of Average Joe's. Going to need three, as, oh, John Knight just barely makes it out of there as Lee Org ghosts away in time, but this is 13-16 with a very healthy Immortal pushing. This could easily be game. They're going to have one more chance of Average Joe's trying to stop the push here. Cookie steps way up. Oscar getting his damage onto the core. The Rain of Vengeance comes out, trying to find somebody, doesn't find anybody, but this is probably too much damage. Everybody is focusing on here. The health bars are too much. The bunker goes down. Everybody's getting in. The armor is too much, and this is going to be game. Going over to A Group Economy, proving to be. Oh, but here's the Entomb. This will be very close, but Average Joe's, their health bars are just not enough. The Unstoppable coming out. The counter-strike from Alarak, the nail in the coffin, and that's going to be A Greek Economy easily taking that game, proving to be the massively dominant force here in Division A East. And we're going to try and get a interview here with the captain of A Greek Economy. And that was really rough. I think, man, Decade really pulled it through. I think he was the hidden MVP of that match, and of course, Alarak also being very influential in that game. Hello, Cookie. Welcome to the show. You guys played an excellent game today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I have to ask, coming into this game, of course, you guys are both undefeated. You've seen Average Joe's plays. You in fact banned out one of their better maps. Did you feel prepared coming into this, and how worried were you about the unstoppable force of Average Joe's?
To be honest, I think our team is not really that worried. We're more worried about the team that's coming up, actually. But we did take a lot of consideration into researching the team. It is an undefeatable team, and I think they played very well. They did have a lot of minor mistakes, but, you know, minor mistakes, we eat off of them. So, but besides that, we're really looking forward to Gazlo. That would be the team that we're really afraid of. I think both teams today played really well.
Well, so you said you're worried about teams coming up, so it is first pick Gazlo you're worried about.
Yes.
That's
okay.
the one we've been putting the most work into this week.
Oh, I am also joined by someone else. Decade, welcome to the show. I'm going to turn you up here.
Sure.
Yeah, you, welcome. You played a heck of a game on that Stukov, as well as Cookie playing a good job on that Vala and the Genji as well. Decade, talk me through some of those, the way that you played Stukov and the silence. What was your plan going into the game on the Stukov?
So, kind of going into this too, I want to give a shout out to our actual support. I was actually a stand-in this week for Defender, our main roster. I actually did a role swap coming into this week for playing Stukov. When playing Stukov, though, talking about that, really it's just trying to look for a point where you know the team's going to fight, and try and pre-position the silence there to begin with. If you try and land silences on top of people, as they're fighting, they're just going to move right out. You want to look and think on how the opponent's going to play and place that accordingly.
Okay, speaking of moving people out, you guys ran the Alarak Stukov. I feel like that's a duo for you guys. Is part of that having Alarak saying, no, stay a little longer in the silence?
Actually, for us, before we even played today's game, we actually just put in I'd say about 5 to 6 quick matches. Bishop missed on Alarak, and then myself on Stukov. I've been playing Stukov a lot this week, so I knew that was going to be the one for me. But after seeing Bishop's Alarak, really good comfort pick for him. So we just decided, you know what, we're going to roll with their strongest picks in the game, and it just worked.
All right. Well, it definitely did a great job there. Cookie, how do you, for one part, how'd you feel on that Genji there? You really pulled that through. Did you think about going Dragon Blade into the Uther as opposed to X Strike?
So the thing that how I play Genji is that you have essentially saying this 4 escapes with the X Strike. You have an escape with the Protect, right? That's anti-stun. You have just the damage escape, right? You have the E escape, which is long distance. You have the D, which is a small distance overalls as well. But then you also have the X Strike. Now, going into the game, I would run Dragon Blade if it weren't for all the stuns. If I get stunned once, I do not want extra damage me. I want to just X Strike right out, which is looks like what I was going into. So it's a safer pick with the X Strike.
Yeah, very smart play coming from you there. Now, the second game, they banned the Genji mid, and you guys went Vala, somebody we have not seen in the competitive scene very often there. I have heard talk about running Vala into Garrosh, especially with Hot Pursuit. I think it was Korea. Were you guys inspired by that, or are you just comfortable on Vala? What's the thought process there?
Sorry, I know this is Cookie's pick, so I'm still in the limelight a little bit. But there's actually a lot of picks in our team that we don't typically run, or teams don't typically run that were comforts for us. For me, I really like playing Brightwing. It's one of my favorite supports. Not often do we get to play it, but when we do, it's something I really enjoy. Cookie has probably one of the best ballers that I've played with personally. So for us, it's not so much that like looking at the enemy team, we just know like what our comfort picks are and can really like put the opponent on their back end. Because I feel, at least calling out Average Joe's here, we did a lot of research. We knew what we were going into. They tried to put our tank on the back feet here by putting him onto a pick that we don't play a lot, which is Murden, by directly banning him. And as you can see, we're not just Genji players. We're not just Garrosh players. We're more of a team than just that.
Fair. And I will also give it up to Blaze, who had some key bunkers there during that game, especially against the Maiev. Is that more or less a counter for you guys into Maiev?
I think that is a counter for Maiev, especially, but that is one of our comfort picks for our off tank.
Okay,
so
excellent.
It worked really well with that.
And also big props to Oscar for winning that battle 1v1 against Leoric. You do not see that very often. It's well done.
Yeah.
What was my other question? Oh yes, on the Vala. So did you go into that against the Garrosh thinking, well, if I do get caught out, at least I'm a Vala bomb? You've got Rain of Vengeance because...
So the thing with that is I was actually looking forward to getting tossed throughout the entire game. However, it wasn't the best thing to get tossed. But if I were to get tossed, hey, you got to stun for 0.5 seconds 2 times. So. And
you hit 4 people with that. So go back there and clip that for me if you can.
Yeah, and kind of lead on to that. We as we noticed, teams are beginning to pick up. We love team fights. That's our shtick, and I think Vala fits really well into compositions that run a lot of crowd control, because she brings that, which few carries do, bring CC to a team fight.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, let's actually take a look. Are you guys playing Gazlo next week?
We are playing them this week.
Okay,
this Thursday.
Okay, and you guys are definitely worried about that. And also next week, you also have another top team, Jailbait. Have you guys looked at them yet, or are you waiting until next week?
We look at all teams. Myself and Defender and Olive Farmer, we pretty much do a lot of the research. I'm not going to go into too much specifics because obviously we don't want to leak our strategies here. But we do a lot of homework. We do watch VODs on the occasion. You know, there's stuff that goes into before we go into those games.
All right, excellent to hear from you guys. Congratulations once again. You guys are up 7-0-0. Let's hope you can keep that streak alive going into the Super Pals first pick. Gaslow GG AFK. In the meanwhile, though, we got a lot of viewers watching you guys in this game. You got any shout outs for Twitch?
So I personally want to give shout outs to the European Union. They actually gave us the opportunity to play in this game. Without them bailing out our economy, we wouldn't be here today. Most of our PCs, computers, and everything have come from there. So props to them. If we lose this tournament, we're pretty much, our whole country is going to turn upside down. So this is pretty much our one and only shot of you know, bailing out the Greek economy.
Okay, let's hope, you know, for all the refugees and all the strife going on in Greece, which, by the way, my homeland, my parents' homeland, but let's hope you guys can keep it together. Cookie, any shout outs?
Honestly, I want to give a shout out to once again to the Greek festivals that will be going on this year. And I do want to say that if we do win this and our team does collapse, because it will, we will take a Greek festival in terms for NGS and party on.
Okay.
So everyone's welcome. There will be olive oil for everyone.
Lots of olive oil.
Lots of olive oil. It's gonna be everywhere. So
you got some lamb. You're gonna have your gyros. You've got you gonna have some nukomatas.
That honestly, that's the call on Olive Farmer, our resident mascot on our team. He loves gnocchi, so that may be something he might do. No promises though.
I mean, that's not Greek, but I'll take it.
But it's with a Greek spin, Mr.
Okay.
Olive Farmer. Olive Farmer.
So garlic and oregano is really
and lots of olive oil. Don't forget that. That's always important.
All right. Well, who is the Greek member of your team? Is it Oscar?
No, it's Olive Farmer.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him to enjoy some curambieras for me.
Oh, he's tuning in. He'll know.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and thanks for putting up an entertaining fight there.
We aim to please. We'll see you around maybe this week.
All right, great. I'll see you then.
Awesome. Have a great day.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the big matchup of the week. Average Joe's versus A Greek Economy. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is NGS, the Nexus Gaming Series, and if you want to see matches this epic, we're going to do it all season long. I will be casting us all season long. We're an amateur league with 110 teams between 9 divisions. Then, you know, we've got teams going from Grandmaster to Bronze. This was Division A, so more of the Diamond Master players up in this division. So tune in all season long and see how these teams do. If you want to keep watching me cast games, I'm at twitch.tv/ghostdunk. And you can hit the follow button if you're watching on Twitch right now. And you can also follow me on Twitter at IlluminatedWax. And hold on. Okay. Yeah. So I just got distracted by something. I'm very sorry. People are messaging me, and it's actually crazy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to my Greek mother who is watching A Greek Economy. And shout out to everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I hope we had a fun time. We had a huge amount of viewers. So thank you so much for tuning in. I think it's going to wrap us up here. Once again, we've got A Greek Economy going up 2-0 over Average Joe's. I've been Ghost Dunk. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to host you guys over to another Nexus Gaming Series game here after I'm done blabbering at you. So just stick around during the goodbye screen, and we'll send you on over to an exciting new game. So I will catch you guys later. Once again, I've been Ghost Dunk. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. Have a good night.
The jar is under the bed. off the beat, kinda. Dripping off the meat grinder. Heat niner, pimping, stripping, soft, sweet minor. China was a neat sign of trouble with the script digits. Double dip, bubble lip, subtlest midget. Borderline schizo, sorta fine tits though. Porter wine, order grind, 8:45, let's go. Ever since 10-11, glad she made a brethren. Then it's last down, 7 alligator, 7 at the gates of hell.